Yes. Yes,
I still need to
indeed.
watch Justice League. Thanks for reminding me. Yes, this week, Brandon. You'll get it back
Yes.
on Friday.
Wow, the land of make-believe.
Hey, everyone, and
Sup?
welcome to Why Are You Still Here? And today, if you read the title of the thumbnail that you clicked on to get into said video, today, special
Yeah,
features
which one is this? Ends. The
ends.
last one.
It's the last one ever, baby. We're never doing special features again. Oh, wait a minute. What's that over my shoulder? Is that an asterisk? I think it might be. Let's see. Where's the there we go. Yeah, not really, so don't get too excited. It's not actually the last one, but it's the last one that is you know, related to the Halloween series.
You
And
know what
by
we
that
could
I
do?
mean we're now we're now past 13. This is 13. Happy 13 episodes to you, Lucas, of special features. But yeah, it's gonna be 14 now. And what are we gonna do? So tell me.
We're gonna call the next one um shit. I gotta think of a good name for it. We're gonna call it Halloween New Beginning, parentheses, a fan film.
That would be funny to actually just start going through all the fan films, like
Or
all the
like
ones that
special features
actually
fan film, whatever.
exist, and
Yeah,
then just
yeah.
using, yeah, it'd be like it'll show a real dip in quality for our channel as well. It'll be like these are
That's
the
pretty
ones that we
funny.
just really don't care about. Because it's all gone pretty well along with what we've been trying to do because Halloween Kills ended up being the most chaotic one that we've ever done.
Yeah,
And did
I
I say
haven't even
Halloween
connected the
Kills?
dots.
Special features kills. Yeah, was the most chaotic. And this one, we were supposed to have two different hosts. Like we were supposed to log in, and it was going to be just two other people completely. That or will that happen later on? Will Lucas and I be talking, and then somebody just walks down, and we're like, "Hey, what are you doing here?" And then they slap us around, and we fall to the ground dead, and then they sit down in the chair, and they just take over the show. Um,
Very good.
it's a possibility. That's all I'm saying.
Stranger things
Um,
have happened.
sure, sure. So basically, the moral of the story is don't get too excited. It's not actually the last one. And yeah, and if you don't have a clue of what we're talking about because this is like the first special features you've ever clicked on, first off, special features. What is special features, Lucas?
We're showing off our hoarding tendencies, our frivolous spending, basically the shit that we bought this month.
Yes. Yes, that is part of it. So
And
show and
needless to
tell.
say, we stimulate the economy. And show and tell is my favorite, so I'll say that part. You continue with the scheduling because you're the CEO.
Okay. So show and tell, that always takes up the bulk of it, even though that's not what special features even started off as. Ironically, it started off as us just telling people what was coming up. That's literally what this started off as, which is insane.
Hmm.
Did I freeze?
No,
Oh, really? Okay.
not on my end.
Okay, very good. Um, so yeah, that what this all started off as, like the early days of special features. It was just like, hey, so we have this episode coming up, and let us tell you about what went into the editing of this and the thumbnail of that, that kind of thing. But so that's still part of it a little bit, just not nearly as much as the show and tell part is. So we
Yes.
will talk about whatever's on the horizon. We'll talk about whatever we have planned as far as episodes go. And basically just whatever else that we want to talk about, it gets shoved into this one episode when it doesn't really, fall into any other category except special features. And as far as the numbering of these goes, I just decided, 1 through 13, I just would mimic the Halloween series. So, special features 2 and then 3, which I think I called it Season of the Witch, and 4, The Return of Waish, 5, I think I missed 5, which would have been The Revenge of Waish, but whatever. 6, The Curse of Waish.
Yes.
Yeah, so whatever. That was a long diatribe just to explain basically that this is the episode that it's a hodgepodge episode, basically.
Yes. It is a smorgasbord, as they say.
Indeed.
So I'm sorry. As I rudely cut you off, like I generally do.
Will always forget at the end to go back to the subject. So we will get into the show and tell in just a second, but I do want to let everybody know that on the very horizon, we're going to have, I apologize because it's really weird, but it's going to be 3 tributes coming out within the next few days. Okay. Maybe even by the time you watch this, they're all out. And you're going to say, every one of these people except one of them died like a year ago. And I'm going to be like, I know. And sorry about that. But unfortunately, when they should have come out was during September, October, which is our busiest time of the year. We're like Santa of Halloween. And
yeah,
so
and it's not even just like, it's not even just the podcast stuff too. Like it's our personal life. All of September and October, and then even this year was the first year I started doing all of that in the middle of August, which helped me tremendously get more movies watched. Like I had to start really, and I honestly I'll do it this way every year from now on.
Yes, honestly, there's never a time where it's not crazy, because it goes from ramping up to Halloween to November, which is us finishing up the Halloween stuff that we didn't get out in time. December, either we talk about Christmas movies or we talk about horror themed Christmas movies, which this year we had obviously Violent Night. And then January tends to have horror movies as well, and people like us talking about horror movies. So it just never stops, really. But, so I saw an opening and I decided I would take it, and it'll be James Caan. Okay. I know he died like 8 months ago, but
I forgot all about that.
It'll be Kevin Conroy, which you might think, I don't recall filming that. Yeah, you didn't. It's just me. And thirdly, it's George P. Wilbur. So I was gonna go, I'm gonna get out the George P. Wilbur one right away, and then I'll do the other 2 after that. And I was like, I can't do that. My OCD will not allow me to do that.
Your OCD doesn't allow you to do many things.
It's true. Include live life. So
I know I hate to just be an Art the Clown and put, salt and bleach in your wounds with that one, but
hey, that's fine. I
insert photo
with
of Art the Clown with the Trick or Treat Studios mask.
Yes,
I love that picture. I love that picture.
But I was like, I have to have it in order. So from the James Caan to George P. Wilbur, it's just going to have to come out in that order. And I feel like there's one I'm forgetting that's there, and it's going to surprise me because I feel like more people have passed away than just that. But yes, the James Caan one is really funny though, because I'm almost finished with that one, and it's like almost our style was different at that time.
Because it's so much older.
Yes, it's like our style, our setup. We still had our names being shown on the screen because we couldn't get rid of that, and it's all good fun.
Very
It's all
good.
good fun. Anyway, so that's that, and we have nothing really planned,
Except for what we've
Cocaine
already
Bear,
talked about.
which actually it comes out Thursday. I
Yeah, I know.
think
I already got my
this
tickets.
Thursday. Oh, really?
I did last week because I just clicked on, I was in the Fandango app and I wanted to see, people were getting tickets yet. And then my typical middle rows, I never sit too high. I never really sit too low. I'm kind of like right in the middle. Right in the middle, already gone. So I'm like the good seats were already starting to get taken. So I had to get them immediately. I'm going with my brother and my father. I'm making them go because they never go to the movies and I need to get them out of the house. And this movie just looks too good.
It's way too good. Yeah, so that's not going to be a movie that we're going to get like first thoughts on right out, bop, 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 right away. We're not going to get that right
We'll
out
just
away.
review it.
Yes, we're just going to review it. Just on like a Tuesday, and we'll get it out in a timely manner or whatever.
Yes.
But I don't think that it's one of those types of movies that it's like, I need to know what somebody else thinks about this, but more so, this is going to be fun to hear what they think about it, kind 100%. Of thing. Like, I don't need to know it now, but whenever they're ready to show us, I'm excited to hear. Exactly, we'll listen. So, yes. So you were going to ask me before how many items I have, I believe.
Yes, indeed.
7. I believe 7.
Okay. Well, I have, I believe, 6. So we can just ping pong.
Alrighty. So yeah, there's video games, there's movies, and there's actually something else.
Movies? Oh God, did I pick up any movies this month? I don't know. No, I didn't.
Disappointments. That's what I say.
I don't think I did. And if I did, I'll show it again. Whatever.
All right.
I guess I'll get going.
Yeah.
You guys know I've been talking about it forever. And here it finally
What is that? I can't tell. I've never seen this game before in my life.
So I'm not going to go too into detail because Brandon and I, as my CFO decision, we're going to have a whole video dedicated to talking about it. But you want to know my initial thoughts? It's a great game. It's awesome. There are a few criticisms here and there. There are a few performance issues here and there. And by the way, Brandon, for the first time today, I played it on the high fidelity ray tracing mode, so like the 4K ultra version.
Okay.
It was running so bad. I want to say like 21 frames a second. It was fucked. And it when you were standing still though, like it was Hogsmeade, it was at night, it looked gorgeous. But anytime you moved, it was like the slideshow version of the game. So no good. Put it right back and didn't really miss too much. But the game is totally awesome. There was that one video I told you where it was the Jim Dale audio reading, and the guy was like basically walking through the kitchen as the book was narrating it so it would line up. And it was on TikTok, and I refuse to make a TikTok or go find it because I can't stand that website. Couldn't find it on YouTube, so I couldn't send it to you, but maybe I'll have Kevin link it to me or something, but whatever. Anyway, the game is awesome. Very good. I can't believe the backlash from this intolerant hate group against the game. It's really bothering me. It's really stupid. There's a website called Have They Played That Wizard Game? And if you type in a Twitch streamer, it like looks up if they've ever had it on their account. So that way you can not support that streamer. Isn't that the stupidest fucking thing you've ever heard? I thought this was supposed to be a community of diversity and inclusion, but that same people are flipping it around and literally this one girl started crying on stream and then quit streaming because people were just making fun of her for playing the game. Like it's ridiculous. It has nothing to do with anything. Why can't people just enjoy it? So F off.
I don't know. Those are the same people, unfortunately, that made sure that the Fantastic Beasts series wasn't going to continue as well. I reviewed that movie, and I talked about it many times that the third movie is good. And unfortunately, people were so hell-bent on not supporting J.K. Rowling because of her comments, which whatever. The movie did poorly in the box office. So that's not the entire reason, of
Could you
course.
imagine if we just bombed something that they enjoyed, and then it would just be like we just took them down
like
because we're cis
review
white
bombed
men or
it?
something? Yeah, it's and the funny
What do
thing is
they
we would.
enjoy? What do these people enjoy?
The funny thing is we would never do that either because we're adults who don't give a
No,
shit. It's so
no.
childish, so
I think
petty.
it'd be funny if somebody did that to Avatar or something, like hurt James
God,
Cameron's
you want to
ego a
talk
little
about
bit.
virtue signaling? That movie is up the ass. It's so fucking annoying.
And just think there's gonna be like 6 more of them or something. James Cameron's gonna be dead by the time that the third one rolls around if he stays on this
Yeah.
course. There's a video too where, and this makes me feel more content with making fun of James Cameron because he's delivered some good things, a
Yeah, of
lot of good
course.
things. I'll give him
Terminator
credit
2.
where credit's due.
I fucking love that movie. As
Alien
do most
2.
people.
Titanic is a good movie. Um, he's done a lot of good stuff. True Lies is supposedly good. I don't know. I've never seen it, but there's a video where there was a group of people asking him for an autograph, and I get it. There's autograph hounds in the crowd. There always is. And how do celebrities usually handle that? They will go and they'll sign a few things for people. They'll usually scope out the true fans of the group, because it's very obvious to see the true fans to the ones that don't have a stack of photos in their hands.
Yes.
And he lumped the whole group together, and people were like, James Cameron, you suck, or something like that. And he goes, fuck you. And he went into his car and drove away. And as he drove away, he was like this. And it's like, that
What a fucking
makes
jerk.
me hate him. Okay. And I really want to say not hate because I don't like saying the word hate, but I kind of want to say hate in this circumstance. Like, that is such a shitty thing to do to your fans. Because yes, there's
It's
autograph
like everybody
hounds,
had
but guess
like
what? There's more fans
they
standing
had
in
on
that crowd than
they
there's
had on
autograph
Avatar
hounds.
shirts. There was a guy in the corner who had a Titanic hat. It wasn't even a hat, it was an actual model that the Titanic put on his head. Said, I loved you, James Cameron. And he's like, fuck you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, probably. Somebody probably
Oh,
built
man.
like a Titanic model and painted it to have him sign it, and then that's how he responded to the group. Because he's not a classy human being. Honestly, there
He's
are
not a
classy
human
human beings out there.
He's a Navi.
He's probably
as
not.
a
He's an
Navi.
alien. He's a xenomorph.
Oh man.
But that's why he had to get his whole family in the second movie. That's why there's so many xenomorphs in that movie. I don't know. I just thought that was really, really rude and has left a bad taste in my mouth when it comes to James Cameron. So I don't know. He's so pompous too. But yeah. Remember when he purchased like a $1 billion submarine and then used it as a tax write-off because he claimed it was going to be used for Avatar 2? And it was like, okay, sure, finally, I guess it was used for Avatar 2, but that was like it was like 15 years ago.
That's the only reason they made the second one. James
he's
Cameron
like, I have
announces
to.
no plans for Avatar 3.
Yeah, it was so stupid. It was like one of those things where you just make fun of him for, because he's like,
funny as hell.
Purchased like the most expensive submarine ever, claims it's going to be for this movie that doesn't even exist, and yeah, that was funny. But yes, so obviously I have the same game, and this will be the only version. Ooh, it got dusty on the back somehow.
Oof.
This is going to be the only version I own of this. Usually I would go and spend money to get the steelbook because, there's usually a steelbook, right? So, I'm not going to buy that big, stupid collector's edition that has the book in it with the wand that hovers like half an inch above the book.
If that wasn't sold out everywhere because the pre-orders went like that, I was going to get that version.
Oh no.
Also, there was a Hogwarts Legacy.
Hate it.
There's a yeah, it's pretty bad. But there was a Hogwarts Legacy controller, right? And I fucking hate PlayStation
with the
Direct.
wands?
It has Hogwarts on the touchpad, and then it has like a design on the handles. It's black and gold. It's really
that's not
nice
what I'm
looking.
thinking of.
It's really nice look. It got announced in the morning, and then like it just got dropped on Twitter, like that it released. It was for the US and the UK only, so it got dropped for the UK. So obviously they're 5 hours ahead of us. So then we found out about it. It was announced it was going to be 1 p.m. Eastern time, 10 Pacific time. So I'm sitting there at the PlayStation Direct thing at 12:59, ready to hit refresh. I refresh it at 1 on the dot. Boom. I go type in Hogwarts Legacy controller. Not on there. I go back to the homepage of PlayStation Direct. Refresh. Go to the controller section. Not on there. I refresh it again. Not on there. I go back at 101. It's on there and it's sold out. That website is so fucking broken. I hate it. I hate it. Yeah. I hate PlayStation Direct. I had problems with my PS5 order from them, and I had problems with this. And it was a regular price controller. Maybe it's $10 more or something, but that motherfucker, I haven't even looked yet. I bet you it's $200 on eBay. It's not even out yet. Can you tell I'm mad?
It's more than that. Yes, I had that same issue when I purchased this, which I had the box sitting here.
Very good.
But like when I purchased this, I had that same issue. Anyway, there is like a controller that's coming out. It might not be out yet, but it's a wand. And so it's so you can play Hogwarts Legacy with an actual wand.
What?
And yeah.
No, this is something you just made up to mess with me. And
no, it was at the beginning of the game.
Ashton Kutcher, is that you? Am I being punked?
When I found out about it by playing Hogwarts Legacy, it's at the very beginning of it. It tells you. So there's like a little screen that comes up that's like, if you have this remote, plug it in like this and whatever, and it shows a little diagram of the wands. And
it's not the one that connects to the app. Yet. Oh, okay. Because there's the one that connects to the app that you can do like with the Philips lights and shit.
They dropped the ball that they didn't have it out with Hogwarts Legacy when that came out. But yeah, at the very beginning of the game, every time you start it, it gives you a little blurb about it. That's how I found out about it.
I only started the game
itself
one time, and it's just been on standby on my PS5. Like I haven't played anything else since then, so it's just in a perpetual state of being on. I haven't exited the game.
You still I saw it my first time of turning it on, so
I don't know what you're talking about.
You're weird.
I don't care. How many times I've told you?
I would think that you would know. This is the one thing that you would know right away. You know what I'm saying?
No, I haven't heard a damn
thing. Yeah. Anyway.
So what do? Hold the PS5 controller in your left hand and then take the wand in your right and use it? What? How do you walk? How do you interact with anything?
I have no idea.
So basically, I would use it 5 times and then never use it again and put it on the shelf. All right, I'm sold. Take my money, Warner Brothers, you fuckers. So
I'm gonna have to go and start this game again and look at what it says, because I'm having issue finding any information on. Maybe I hallucinated.
Son of a. All right, Ashton Kutcher. Yep, he's right there in the corner.
That's so weird. Whatever. I'll find out later. And if I'm just wrong, like just flat out wrong, I swear to God, this was a real thing. If I'm just straight up wrong, put it.
It'll be
right
so
at the screen,
fucking momentous.
Right
this
here.
Is gonna be its own video. Not even a short. It's gonna be a glorified premiere video.
Just be like, yeah, Brandon's wrong, and throw some type of insult at me. But if I'm right, here's a photo.
There you go.
And if there's no photo, I'm just standing here doing this.
Doing it's like a Hadouken, right?
I have no idea what that is.
Street Fighter.
That was easy. Don't know anything about Street Fighter. Anyway, what's your next thing, woman? Is it the wand?
Yeah.
Is it the Hogwarts Legacy wand?
Another game. This game got just praised when it came out. I got it a few days later.
Yes.
And I played the original one back when it came out, so years and years ago. It's one of the best horror shooter games that I played. It's the dismemberment aspect of it. It's you don't really play a lot of games like that. You know what I mean? Like, you know what? I praise Condemned as like my all-time favorite horror game because that was one of the melee starters. I haven't really seen anything else that uses that dismemberment ability, but obviously I haven't finished this one yet because Hogwarts Legacy came out, which will take precedence, and that's obvious. But with my FOMO with movies and video games is very strong, so of course I picked it up. What was I going to say? Which is unrelated to this version of the game, but there is a Wii version of the game. I think it's called Dead Space Dismemberment. I could be wrong, but it's a Dead Space game. It's not the exact same one, but it's an on-rail shooter, and it is good as hell. You know what an on-rail shooter is?
I do. It's like an arcade game.
Yeah, and it's really good. It's really, I mean, it's Wii graphics, whatever, but you get the full dismemberment. So you'll get the creature there, the alien, whatever, and then you just start blasting shit off. You get a couple of them, then you go to the next one, and if you do it with the light gun, it's awesome. Totally cool. So Dead Space, there you go.
A light gun.
I figured
it's like a wand.
Yeah, I just use the Wii Zapper. Like the Wii is really good for light gun games because it's perfect. You just put it in there and it's the same shit. Because you can't use a light gun on an HD TV unless you get like some crazy converter dongle, which will cost you like $200 or some shit. But just has to do with the way the picture tube worked on tube TVs. But like the Namco one is, I think it's called, is Namco the GunCon one? I don't know. But the ones from the PS2 era, which were all pretty good, dude. Like those Time Crisis games, those were awesome. Remember those? PS2, the orange gun? Damn, man.
I do not. I do not. I just saw a little blurb in an article, though, that said that Hogwarts Legacy probably isn't going to get any DLC.
Yep,
including Quidditch.
I saw that like 3 days ago when they mentioned it. They said they were so busy in the scope of it that with the way the game is now, they don't even have plans to add to it. Which
I think that's stupid. I think that is a big. If
that's the case,
mistake.
start on the sequel yesterday. That's all I have to say, guys.
Yep.
I mean, this is a fucking cash cow. There hasn't been a Harry Potter thing this big since Deathly Hallows Part 2 even came out. So
I would think that this game could be like WB's answer to GTA Online.
For
and
sure.
what I mean by that is that this game does not really need a sequel. So you just keep the same world, but
with the way GTA Online works now, is that you used to have to get GTA 5 to have the access pass to play it. Yep. Now you can just buy GTA Online.
Okay, that's the saddest thing I've ever heard in my entire life, but okay.
Yep.
I was early to the GTA Online thing. I played it the very first day it was available. I played it for a week, and I never played it again because it was
I've never played it before. I played GTA 4.
It's changed a lot since then.
I played GTA 4 online with like my friends, but it's not the same as GTA 5 online. It's a completely different experience.
The whole thing is completely different. I hate it so much, and it's
just what I've seen on YouTube. The community looks absolutely terrible, so I just have no reason to be a part of it. There's a lot of and not only that, it's just fuck that. But just Rockstar's business practices, man. I just can't get down with them in that sense. However, Red Dead Redemption, I supported that when that was great.
I am just beside myself that GTA Online is the entire reason that we haven't gotten GTA 6. And I really hate that. GTA 6 has been in the making for like at least 6 years. That's when the details about it came out.
And I've said this a million times and I'll say it again, is the reason we don't have Elder Scrolls 6, the sequel to Skyrim, is because Bethesda saw what Rockstar did, and then they just kept re-releasing it because Skyrim came out 2 years before GTA 5, which is insane how old these games are. It's 2011, Brandon, when Skyrim came out. It came out 12 fucking years ago. They're still selling a brand new remastered 5th version. I own them all. So
they do it because of you.
Exactly.
People like you that keep buying every single version of it. But yeah, Rockstar is really annoying, and they hate remastering their games. They hate it.
Yeah,
when
we
it's
saw what
not
happened the
GTA
last
5. When it's not GTA 5, they do not like remastering their games. The whole Grand Theft Auto Definitive Edition thing, I swear that was a product merely of COVID happening, and they just were like, what are we going to do to make money? And so they did that because that is not normal for them. And
yeah, it had
I'm
such a lack of
happy
polish.
they
It's
did
sad.
it. I mean, I'm currently playing, as well as Hogwarts Legacy, I'm playing Vice City, and it's lovely.
Good choice.
And I'm probably halfway through it or so, but yeah, it's a lot of fun. Vice City and San Andreas were like the two ones that came out unscathed in that whole thing. Like they really don't have any issues. But GTA 3 supposedly has an issue when it comes to like the bridges or something, and it's
I think it has
borderline
issues
game breaking.
With like the rain too. I remember something about that.
Yeah,
kind of sucks. I love
there's
GTA 3.
something weird with it, makes it really difficult to play. But the other two are fine. And like you and I had a conversation the other day, it's like it is the definitive edition of those games because they have modern controls and auto save and all this stuff that make the original impossible to play.
You can't even call it the original trilogy because it starts at 3, but the coveted trilogy of Grand Theft Auto games are so we played them back when they came out. You know, we're old, so we remember that time period. We played games back then. The PS2 was the PS5. You were just used to how games were and their limitations. Those games are so unforgiving. It's ridiculous. They are fucking challenging games. And when you die, you have to restart everything from your last save point. There's no mission restart. There's no, you fail it 3 times. We'll skip past it. Nope. You got to get it, or you're using cheat codes, which as a kid, I did all the time. As an adult, I never do because it's just not an authentic way to play it.
Yeah, agreed.
But those games are hard.
They're the new versions though. They have, you know, the 4K
all the quality of life
graphics. I switched on
even
last
though
night just
some of
for
the
a little
character
bit.
models and just the art is a little funky in some places. It looks like bubbly and just so weird in some spots compared to the original.
I haven't noticed anything, but last night I switched on, I think it was performance mode, whatever one uses the 60 frames per second, and it was like,
performance. Oh,
I don't like this at all. Like it was just way too many frames. It was way too smooth,
too buttery for you.
And I was like, no. I could barely even drive. I felt like it was the mission where you're like drunk and you're trying to drive Phil Cassidy to the hospital. Like that's what it felt like.
I had that experience the first time I was messing around with my PC like years ago because I was always console gaming, and when I was playing an FPS with it was Halo 3 at because you can put a frame rate counter in the corner of your game. It'll tell you what it's at. I was playing Halo 3 at 578 frames per second. That's how high it got at one point. With a mouse, it was the smoothest. Like you have to be like you breathe on it and you're flying across the fucking screen. And Halo sucks with the keyboard anyway.
Insane. But it just, there's a lot of, like Lucas said, quality of life improvements when it comes to there being an autosave feature, there being if you fail the mission, you can restart the mission right from the beginning of it. And most importantly, the fact that all the controls are GTA 5 controls. you know, when it comes to everything. So
Very good.
it's just it's much better. But anyway, I haven't even showed my second item yet.
Yeah,
So
get on with it.
I do want to say though that I went on this whole diatribe about Hogwarts Legacy and didn't even say what I was leading up to, which was the fact because you started talking about the collector's edition and stuff, and then we went off on a tangent. However,
Yes.
I don't have the steelbook of that. Like I would normally go, and if I couldn't just get the steelbook on its own, then I would pay for it if somebody was selling it right from the collector's edition. Well, it's not a steelbook. It's something that's called a metal pack. And if you know anything about metal packs, steelbook collectors, they don't want it. Okay. They don't want it. They're ugly as hell.
Discount version, the Dollar Tree.
It's like a competitive company that never really took off. So there's Future Pack, there's Metal Pack, and then there's Iron Pack, I think. So there's 3 companies that try to compete with Steelbook. And they're all ugly as I was gonna say ugly as ass. So you know what? I'm just gonna go with that. They're all ugly as ass. And Steelbook is just, you know, you can't touch it. So it was weird though. There must have been some weird thing that happened that they couldn't do a steelbook, but whatever. It's a metal pack, and I was like, oh God, I'm so happy it's a metal pack. Now I don't have to spend money on it. Anyway, so that's what I was leading up to like 47 minutes ago.
Very good.
So I got this little ditty.
Yeah.
I returned a game
Harold Porter
to a store. And I got some
loot,
store credit for it, and I immediately, as I was waiting there 40 minutes for them to take care of me, because this girl walked in right before me with a box of stuff that she was selling, and they're like, we're gonna have to check every single one of these games. And I was like, oh my God, no. So they did, because they were more modern games, you know. They were like Xbox, you know, PS4. So they went and they checked every single one, and they had all 3 employees going in on it, checking these games. So I could not sell them my game for 40 minutes. So had a little bit of time to look around, especially in their glass case. And so I saw something. I was like, I saw that they had Resident Evil 2 for GameCube as well. However, it looked like somebody ejaculated on it and then wiped it up their ass. Like the case itself was all crumpled, and the art was all crumpled and soggy and like white, where
I don't even know
like
why
rubbing away.
Put that on the shelf. I would just throw the fucking box away.
Yeah, I know. Sick. That's what I was thinking, because I saw it at a distance at first, and I was like, "Ooh, oh my God, what is that?" So, whatever. I took a step to the right, and I saw this little ditty, and I was like, "Oh yes,
indeed,
sign me up for that." And this is, for people that don't know, Star Wars Bounty Hunter came out back in the day for like PS2 and whatnot. I think GameCube as well, probably Xbox, whatever. So it's an old game, but it was remastered, and it's part of this limited run series. So
oh my God, I see why you were talking about the price being limited run. Shit is so if you don't get it during that limited run, I have problems with that company. But I'm sorry, just go on. I'll talk about that forever.
But they're, you know, through that company was the only way that this ever released physically, right? So I've had it digitally for years, but, you know, I'm a physical collector, baby. But unfortunately, I can never find this for like under $100. And I was like, oh God, I don't think I can justify paying that much money for it, you know, so on and so forth. So I saw this, it was $50. I already had $50 store credit. Actually, it was like $52. So then I owed like $1 for tax. Worked out very well. That's all I'm saying. And it's in really good condition. Like it looks like whoever sold this maybe never even played it. So I was like, okay. And this is annoying. Not a big fan of them putting the sticker right onto the plastic like that.
Those stickers come
But
off really easily, though.
isn't there going to be some type of residue?
If
Whatever.
I'm a pro at taking off those stickers. I have gone to that store so many times and peeled off so many
Mm.
stickers. You have to just dig the corner ever so gently with your fingernail. And then once you
Mm-hmm.
get the tiny, you just have to just go really, if you go slow,
Yeah,
it's not going to have that sticky stuff that comes up.
I see. I see. Because of the fact of me having tons of steel books, the nature of the beast is also having tons of these cases because of the fact that the steel books go on the shelf, the disc goes into the steel book, the original case goes into a closet somewhere. So I have stacks of these that are just empty of these cases. So no big deal. I can just replace this with another one of these 50 cases that I have.
Very good.
But yes, indeed. So the fact that they had it for a good price, I was happy about, and I had to jump on it.
Yeah, they
Yes,
used
I
to
did.
always have good prices, and now occasionally you can find a good deal. But like I said, I have just foregone going there. I've gone there since I got my PS5, and nope, whatever.
Yeah, they're a terrible store.
But I did get a new hoodie. I don't have a lot of hoodies for some reason. Maybe I should. This is very comfortable, and I just like the
You
way
got
it
a
looked.
hoodie here.
Anyway,
Yes, very nice.
it's very nice. We were talking about Friday the 13th, and then I watched part 3 with my brother in 3D, the whole movie with the glasses. And it was so hilariously stupid. And then I went to the store and I bought this. And
Very good.
I really enjoyed it though. I mean, it's stupid, but I enjoyed it. And I think you're gonna speak into existence what you said when we were talking about the franchise ranking that we're gonna do for Friday the 13th. That
Mm-hmm.
It'll replace Chucky for me. Now I'm just gonna hate Chucky because
Oh,
that
good.
series
Yeah,
is
I
just
hope
dead
so.
to me after Don
Yeah.
Mancini and what he
Yep.
massacred with the TV series. But anyway,
Until the
yeah,
third season comes out and we ultimately watch it and then do a video on it.
we will.
Sadly.
Anyway, yeah,
Sadly.
just that. Quick
Very
and easy.
good. Very good. So this is something I got yesterday. It was it's a store that's called, I don't know if there's a bunch of them around or not, but whatever. It's called Second and Charles. They deserve a shout out because they're great. And they have, like a glass case that does have like more expensive like games and items in it and stuff,
Okay.
very much like that other store that shall not be named. But they also just have a section of PS5, PS4, Xbox, Xbox 360, GameCube, but not so much because those go real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Wii U, PS2 games, so whatever. They have a whole section of these types of things. More so than anything else, they have PS2. It's not a lot of good PS2 games, but it's a whole lot of PS2 games, right? They actually did have one GameCube game as well. It was Resident Evil. It was the Resident Evil, remake. And it was actually in good condition. So yeah. And that's the only GameCube game I've ever seen there on the shelf, not in their glass case. But anyway, I was taking a look at the PS2 games and I was like, I don't have a working PS2 at the moment, but someday I will. Someday I will. So I figured I'd pick up this little bad boy, a game that I've always wanted to play. It's The Legend of
Hell
Jack
yeah, we talked
Sparrow.
about this. That's awesome.
Yes. And it was $5. $5.50. It was
Very
$5.50.
good.
And so I was like, that's a good price.
You got the manual in there. How's that disc looking?
Oh yeah. I haven't checked the disc, but the manual and everything about it is in such perfect condition that
That it
I'm
was
like,
never taken out of the case once.
I don't think it was. No, everything about this is in perfect condition. No, yeah, nope, it's perfect. A little dusty.
Nice.
Yeah, a little dusty, but perfect.
Very good. You're
Yeah.
making me want to play the PS2.
Yes. Very good, very good. So the whole thing was in such good condition that I was like, I gotta jump on this. And I quickly looked it up, and I was having connection issues with my phone yesterday. So there was nothing quick about me looking up the price online. Actually, I had to like connect to their Wi-Fi, and their Wi-Fi wasn't working. And then I tried to use LTE, and it was like it was a whole thing.
Yeah.
Finally, I got onto eBay, and I saw that most people were selling them for $10. So I was like, 550, that's good with me. So
Very good.
yes, I got it. And yeah, it's one of those games like we've talked about before. I've always wanted to play it. A lot of fun. Probably.
Very good. Very
Yes,
good.
indeed. Yes,
So I
indeed.
texted you a few weeks back, and I didn't show you the card backing that was in this box, but it has like that little hinge side, the dots on there
Mm-hmm.
from a little company called NECA.
Yep.
And he says, I know what that is. You got the Scream figure. I'm like,
Yeah.
nope. So
Which
I
is
took
shocking.
Brandon's. Yes, exactly. I've bought so much Ghostface stuff recently, and I'm not even going to talk about Scream at all. Let's just not even speak that into the online existence right now. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to mix it up, and they had, a whole bunch of different ones. They had Jason and everything, all that. But I saw one that just caught my eye. The paint job was so good on this figure. I had to get
Mm-hmm.
it. It's a
I
retro
can only think
cloth.
it's like a Halloween 2.
Yes, that's exactly what it is, you motherfucker.
Okay.
I
Very
was
nice. I
so
actually,
impressed at how good this looks for how
yeah,
small they are. Like,
I agree with
wow.
you. I have this figure as well. Um, and you compare that to the H18 figure, and it's like there's no comparison when it comes to the,
Oh man. Like it looks just like the
with
art.
these
Like it's
cloth figures.
fucking I love these retro cloth figures. I think they're gorgeous.
I would tread lightly on that because this one was a good one. They're not all good though.
The Scream one looks
Um,
funky. I like the
Scream one is
ultimate ghost face. I like that. I'm
yeah,
picking that
yeah,
one up
yeah,
soon.
there's issues with that one too, um but this one is pretty much the best one that I've ever seen. So it's a
Oh
good one
yeah.
that you got. And the coveralls actually fit it correctly, which is nice. With every single other figure that's the retro cloth, the clothes do not fit it correctly. So for
Mm.
whatever reason, this one just got it right on all ends of it. But
And I saw some like unboxings and reviews like after I picked, after the fact, just to see what people were saying about it. And
mhm.
theirs just didn't look as good. I got a really good copy here, so I might take him out, but really nice. I like him.
Anyway, a lot of those figures suck, but the Halloween 2 one is a good one. Um, yes, yes, indeed.
Yes.
By the way, I think that I gifted you an item that you could have shown in the last special features, and I don't think you did.
Shall I know exactly? Shall I grab it right now and just show it?
You shall grab it. Yes.
Hold on. I'm gonna hide it. You ready for
I
this? You're
was
gonna love
like,
it.
I'm pretty sure that we did a special feature since I gave him that, and I haven't seen it show up.
You know what
It's
you can
so
do then?
strange.
Lucas.
Michael? What did you say?
I said Lucas instead of Michael because I messed up.
Oh, I see. I see. Very good.
Yes.
Lucas? Yes.
Yeah, so at I was the store that I picked that up at. They had these, of course, and I texted Brandon. I'm like, they're cheap. Maybe I'll pick one up. He goes, I have a spare. I'm like, of course you do. He says, I'll just give it to you. So very good.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you, Brandon.
Yes, indeed. No problem. And it's also possible that it was after the last special features that I gave you that, but I don't know.
I don't even remember.
I don't remember either.
I could have. I wish I
But
would have thought on my feet to save the clip on the Karen cam because it's always going like when I'm just sitting there. So all you see is I'm looking over, I roll the window down, you don't say a word, you walk up to me, your hand goes in, you drop it and walk away. And it would have been so funny. Damn,
Correct.
It's either deleted or buried in there somewhere. I will never find it. Oh God.
Yes.
Very funny.
I
though. It
remember
exists.
when I did that, you were like, I'm gonna save that clip, and then you just didn't. Like even that day you said it.
Maybe
But
I did save it. I'll next year when I finally take the SD card out and remember to bring it in the house, I'll have, like I said, just a list of stuff. But yes.
I think this
Yes,
is
indeed.
a good reason to check it finally
Yes, a
and
teachable
see
moment.
if that is on there. But
I shall.
yes indeed. Yes indeed. It was mostly a result of me running late and having to get inside before I was unable to clock in and had to ask for a manager to swipe. So I was like, have to make this as quick as possible. So
I appreciate that.
silently
You put your job and your life on the line.
away.
Thank you.
Indeed. Yes. Anyway, so yes, it's a cool mask though. It's much better than their first version of it that they released, which is
I didn't know that.
does
know it
not
was a
look very
second
good.
version.
I have the first version as well, which now it's a real commodity and it goes for a lot of money.
I'm sure,
because of the
no
fact
doubt.
they don't make them anymore, right? Anything they don't make anymore, people all of a sudden want it. But yeah, the paint job is wrong on it. The nose is like half that size. It's much shorter. It's
Oh my God.
so much of it is weird.
Oh,
Yeah,
that sounds terrible.
It's funky. But that was all we had at the time, and I assumed that it was accurate, but it was pretty obvious it wasn't. Anyway, so that was 2 items in a row from Luciano there. And actually, I can do 2 items in a row as well. Yes, indeed. Anyway, so for whatever weird reason, they decided to release 2 separate steelbooks for this movie. And I was like, well, I guess that means I have to get both of them. And I hope they don't do that ever again, because it was a nightmare. A nightmare, I tell you, to get 2 good copies of one movie.
Just I can already, before you finish that sentence, Brandon, I could already feel your frustration, and I could feel me saying, "Oh, I'm tired just hearing that, Brandon."
So they better not. That's all I'm saying. They better not. But yeah, so Black Panther, Wakanda Forever had
oh my God,
2
different. You had to do it for that movie too.
I know. Yeah. Yes, I did, unfortunately.
The one on my left, your right, I really do like that artwork though. I think that looks really cool.
This?
Yeah, not knowing anything about it, but
oh yeah, no, this is
really cool.
This is the better one of the 2, in my opinion.
Yeah.
If I could only get one, this is the one I would have gotten. Mostly because it's more green centric, and I prefer the color green. Is my favorite color. But yeah, it's the Talokan steelbook, which is like the people of Namor, the character of Namor, which is this guy right here. That's Namor, which is Marvel's answer to Aquaman, who is the villain in this movie. Like, for those that don't know, Marvel started 20 years after, almost 30 years after DC. So a lot of their characters are ripped off of from DC. And one of those characters is the character of Namor, who really is just Aquaman. But yeah, and whatever. So you have the Wakanda version, you have the Talokan version, or Talokan. Not really sure how it's pronounced. They don't even know how to pronounce Namor in the movie. They keep calling him Namor.
Don't you love that when
It's
there's
like,
like 5 actors that have like 5 different ways to say the name and it all makes
yes,
the cut?
that was a big joke for this movie
Yeah.
with the name
That's
Namor.
funny.
In fact, the pitch meeting channel on YouTube, which is hilarious, the guy says, and he makes a joke on the fact that there will be like 5 pronunciations of Namor in the movie.
I love it.
And then here's the back.
Oh, even the back looks cool. I love that one. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
a way better. See, that one sucks. That one's cool.
yeah. I don't think it sucks.
Okay, well,
but
by you know how liberally I may use that word.
yeah.
But that
The
one's
cool
really
thing
nice.
about this one that I'll give it is that everything is outlined in black, which gives it a kind of like
Like a
I don't
perspective.
know, like a cartoony kind of quality. Like see how everything is outlined in that black, like
like
it
a
looks
YouTube
like
thumbnail.
a thumbnail exactly. And then
I
this
like
one is not. It's more artsy, more
like a portrait.
yeah, something
Wait, would a
like
portrait
that.
just be like
It
a
almost
picture
seems
of someone standing there?
tribal.
That's yeah, that's a good word for it.
See, it's all like everything about it is much more crazy and artistic, while this one
Yeah.
is much cleaner, I guess you could say.
Very good.
Yes.
I'm glad that you got 2 good ones though, and that your search has ended.
Yes, it was a bit of a bitch.
I'm
But
sure it was an
yes.
arduous process.
Yes. Ironically, though, for the Talokan one, I only got good versions of that. Like I bought 2 of them just to be sure. But that one was always a good version. It was the Wakanda version that Life just did not want me to get a good copy of. So
Very good.
yes.
Very, very good. So
Indeed.
I have another thing to show off for you. So I told you I like these NECA figures. They look really cool. And
Yes.
you know how much I love a little movie called Halloween 3. And I saw that NECA had like the little trick-or-treaters and they had like the TV and like alternate heads. I'm like, this is really cool. But I didn't get that one.
Oh.
So this is from a company called Mezco. This is I saw this. They're a lot bigger than the NECA ones.
Yeah.
And I had to get it.
Yeah, they're the Living Dead dolls.
Dead doll versions.
Which is cool.
The way these look. Now,
yes.
obviously, you can't like set
I know
them up
exactly
and have
where
the
you
different
got these.
scene, of course. And they're just gorgeous, especially the witch. I love the costuming on the witch. And obviously, I haven't opened any of these yet. They're just. Can you even see anything? Yeah, you can.
Yeah, the costumes are based off of those NECA figures as well.
Yeah, so it's funny because the NECA figure also includes a hat for the pumpkin, which is never in the movie. So I don't know where that came from. I guess you can put it on the witch.
It is only when they're walking by,
the, like
though.
Silhouetted scene, right?
The silhouette, the very cover of the movie, which is what this is based off of, the pumpkin is wearing the witch hat in that, the very cover of the movie. But it's also, as you know, it's a scene from the movie where it says Arizona and they're walking by, right? I think so. I think that's the part
Something
where
like
it says
that.
Arizona.
So yeah, you can't really see the eyes through the plastic, but that's what the eyes look like, and they're really, really spooky look, especially the witch, man. I love these little. They're so well. That one is too hard to really see, but I absolutely love them, and I'm so
they're
torn
cool.
if I'm going to take these ones out of the box. I did watch some reviews, and I heard that they're a little top heavy, and I don't even know where I'm going to put these things. That's another reason why these are still boxed up. But
yeah,
I just went with this one, and I absolutely love it. They have So I remember like all the Living Dead dolls that they had from back in the day, and those go for a lot of money on eBay. Surprisingly,
oh yeah,
there's a huge following for them still, and they have like a really cute Michael Myers one, but he was like $100. It's more of I don't know what year it came out, but I really wanted it. There was an Alex DeLarge for $50 on there. The box was pretty cool. They had Jason, they had a couple other ones too. So it was just something I remembered, from Hot Topic, of course. And then you remember Little Apple dolls as well. There was like I think it was Mezco. they're like the Japanese looking ones. They came with different scented apples, and they're like white face, blacked out eyes.
No.
I'll put a picture up of the little apple dolls, but yes, everybody remembers.
Oh,
Living Dead
there they
dolls.
are.
But yes, I like this a lot. This is pretty cool. You know how hard it was for me not to show you this, Brandon?
I'm assuming it took a whole lot of self-control since you showed me everything else.
Yes, ever since you called me out, I'm like, I'm not gonna say anything.
I called you out, and then you kept one thing a secret. Yes, those are very cool. I saw them for the first time at Motor City Comic Con, and I was like, "Oh, those are really cool." I have, as far as the Living Dead dolls goes, I have the Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 Michael Myers Living Dead doll.
Very nice.
Which is where it started off. Like, Living Dead dolls existed at that point, but they were the the original ones, like
there's
their own original characters.
The original ones.
Like they were just like goth girls and guys and stuff. Like, it was just all original characters.
And they all came with like the movie ones don't, because it's based on a property, but there's lore to it. But their Living Dead dolls, every single one of them comes with a death certificate as proof, and has their own little story. They're so cute.
Oh,
I didn't know
cool.
all of that. Well, I mean, I remember seeing them. I didn't have any. My cousin had a couple, but like because of that, recommended, you go down the YouTube rabbit hole, and I watched this guy who collects all of them, and he was just spitting all this knowledge on living. I'm like, I never knew any of this.
Huh.
And anything that takes me back to that time period of me being a kid, I always like. So that was a double whammy. My first Living Dead doll. And I think I might get a couple other ones from some movies that I like, because they're just so cute. I love them. But where are they going to go? My wallet won't make it either.
But yes, they are cool. And the very first licensed one, I believe, was that Michael Myers one from Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. And everybody at the time were like, it looks like Chucky. It looks like Chucky. It looks like Chucky. And it's like, it does because it has a big head and fat cheeks, and it had the mask that was degrading and decaying, and the big hair. So it did look like Chucky from like Bride or Seed or whatever. So yeah, I have that, and it is very top heavy. It's set up against the wall.
Okay.
And that's the only one. It has a little axe though.
That's cool.
From the beginning, like the dream sequence of Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, he has that axe. Anyway, it has a knife too, but I put the axe in its hand. Yes. Do you remember our last special features where I showed off Halloween Ends, and it was the orange one? And I was like, oh, I have something coming from overseas. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it was this bad boy.
Oh, very good. Oh, I like that one too.
Yeah, it's good.
It's not as good as the other one, but I still like it.
No.
Duncan,
we didn't
Duncan
get this
really
alternate.
Like Can you hear him?
Oh no.
He really doesn't like it.
No, not at all.
He's whining.
It's definitely not as cool as the orange one. We did not get this in the United States. Obviously. This came from Zavvi. But yeah, it's cool. And
Very
actually,
good.
it just occurred to me that there's something that I missed.
Yes. What did you miss?
It's upstairs.
Oh, that's great.
It's I don't know. Talk to the people. I'll be back. Show off your next item.
All right, well, hurry up, you bastard.
Show off your next item, you nasty bastard.
All right. So yeah, people, I decided that I needed a new hobby, and this is what I bought. I told Brandon it took up some of my Hogwarts Legacy time. I played saxophone for like 8 years, probably longer than that. I did it for a while. But it got ruined in a flood a few years ago, and it would just cost too much money to fix it for what it's even worth. So this is what I bought.
She said.
Yeah, you son of a whore. He's back. And the thing's a lot
Brandon's
heavier
back in
than
town.
like a regular like 6-string guitar. This thing's heavy as fuck. Um Came with an amplifier. It said it was 15 watts, and that thing is so loud. Like I turn the knob up a tiny bit and it's like blaring. Anyway, the amplifier was good. Only thing, it was like a starter kit that I bought, of course. The strap was
Mm-hmm.
fucking dog shit. Like I could feel it against here, and it gave me a rash like almost immediately. It turned red, it got itchy. So I got
She
this
said.
strap on off of Amazon. Nice little design in it, leather one. And this one's really nice. And I can't like play anything really. The only
Mm-hmm.
little bit that I can, because I've done it for less than a week, and it's just usually after work I'll come home and just mess around with it. I'm almost got this perfected, other than the fact that it's tuned like trash, and I need to get this adjusted because some of the strings are just too high, so it sounds a little weird. And I
Well, it just needs to be tuned.
not just the tuning, not just on the neck, but like this adjusts how high they sit on the bridge, right? So that needs to be adjusted. But I learned just a little bit of the bass line of the Halloween theme. So you know the
Okay.
song, do 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 do, but you know
Down,
underneath. I don't even know if you'll be able to
down,
hear it.
down. Probably not.
Yeah, I don't even remember it. I need to look at the fucking tabs. I sound like a
I will
middle
say though,
schooler.
as you're looking that up, remember how I told you that being that I took lessons, which everybody should take lessons that is about
Yes,
to play any type of instrument. I would greatly encourage it because you can pick up really bad habits
that you're
that
gonna
are
keep
next to
forever.
impossible to get rid of. And I said to Lucas that to this day, I have the ability to see if somebody's had lessons or not by the
And
way they
he's
hold the
gonna say
neck of a
something.
guitar. And
And then what were you gonna
it's
say
true.
about me
I
holding the
can.
neck of the guitar?
Um, Nothing yet. Play.
Can you even hear that?
No, not really.
Yeah, it's probably better off you didn't hear it anyway. Now that I'm doing it in front of
Okay.
you, there's stage fright. It's awful. It's like
Mm-hmm.
you could put me in like a middle school auditorium, and there's that one loner kid that's playing the guitar horribly. That's what it reminds me of.
Mm.
Give me a month. I'll do it for Wage, because I have to do it so slow. I tried to do it with like the actual theme, but it's so much faster, and it's like
Again, this is all stuff that would help you out massively by getting lessons.
yes, that place, like I told you, we mentioned. I'm not going to say what it is, but it's literally like 3 minutes from my house. It's right around it's like in my backyard almost. It's right
Mm-hmm.
down the street. And my brother
There's
took lessons there too.
so much stuff. It gets complicated, but you hang on to every little thing, just about that you learn.
Well, see, that's the thing
Um,
too, because like I can pick it up and do some things, but like I did saxophone for like over 8 years. I did it all throughout school, like elementary school, middle school, high school, a little bit beyond that. I did, marching band, jazz band. Like I knew what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? So I know how to read music. I understand notes. I can play some things by ear. I know what a note sounds like. It's a whole different.
yeah, that's the part that doesn't really matter so much.
Oh yeah, this is a
Almost
whole
all of that will
can of
not cross
wax.
over, unfortunately. Doesn't transfer from one instrument to another because you're not ever reading music when it comes to guitar or bass because you use chords. So
Well, I mean,
chords
there's there.
are not actual music to be read. So it'll be like G, C, D, E minor, F, that kind of thing. And you're not doing any of that stuff on saxophone, right? So it's you have to actually know how to read music, which helps more so with piano Like if you were to play the piano,
I
that
don't.
would be
That would take so much practice, and I think I
there'd be a
mentioned it
real
before.
parallel there between
Your
those two, but
your left
you're not
hand and
reading
your right
music.
hand doing two totally different clefs, two different speeds. It's same thing with drums. It's just there's this disconnect. I don't think I would ever be able to do.
You have to do the same thing with bass guitar and regular guitar though as well. Your hands
And
are always
I
going to be
get
doing
that,
two different things.
but I don't know how to
And with
describe it. It's just
bass,
a piano thing.
you can play it like this, or
Yes.
you can use a pick, just like a guitar. That comes down to personal preference as well. Traditionally, this is like the way to do it, though.
That's how I've been doing it. I just put my thumb right on top of the pickup and then do everything underneath. But I'll tell you this much. I'm glad it's 4 strings because with my little baby hands, like there is so much of this and that. Like sometimes I'm really gotta stretch. There are other sometimes where I have to put my thumb on the E string and then have my pinky down on the G because like I physically can't reach it.
That makes
Very
me wonder if
interesting.
you should be using a 3/4 length guitar or a 3/4 length bass,
Well, something about
which
the
is
length is
more so for the size. No, it's the neck is shorter too. Which is really for children, but I mean, it might help out. I don't know. So I'll
yeah,
show.
I think I'll stick with the $400 that I paid for that fucking set. Call it a
I'll
day.
send you. Where did you buy it?
Guitar Center, of course.
Nice. Anyway, so I'll show you specific photos so we can show the people. But let's say this is the neck of the guitar here, or the bass guitar.
Yes.
So when you're doing chords, if you are somebody who has had lessons, this is how it will always look, like this, right? Whatever. Anyway, when you haven't had lessons, and you'll see a lot of like people, like more famous people in bands that will do this, and it's a bad habit, you'll start seeing this thumb
I
at
see that all the
top.
time on YouTube. All the time.
So you should never see the thumb. So the thumb should always be back like this, up against the neck. So you're doing all your chords with the thumb back here. But people naturally want to do this. And that is always a really good way of telling immediately if they've had lessons or not. Because that's one of the very first things they'll beat out of you. In fact, my teacher would take my thumb and push it backwards. Because naturally you want to do that. So it'd come up and you'd be like, and so that always was one of those things that really stuck with me.
Very good.
And one of many bad habits that can develop. And it could also further your, joint damage and arthritis and all of that.
It's great for old men like us.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So what I went upstairs to get is a movie.
Oh
that
no,
actually
hold on.
came...
I got lessons. I don't need to go to a
Oh God.
I don't need to go to a real instructor. What are you fucking talking about? I can learn everything in 3 months, right?
I guarantee you too that it's gonna be like just videos that you access. Like it's
nothing
not
you
live.
can't get on YouTube.
No, for that, absolutely not. So it came with, that's why I remember this. It came with Halloween Ends from England, and it is Edge of Tomorrow. One of my all-time favorite movies.
You were telling me about it like 2 or 3 months ago.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic. Well, you were in the office that one day too, where I was talking about it, and then Ross was also talking about it, but not knowing that we were talking about the same movie. He was like, yeah, there's a badass Tom Cruise movie. It's one of the best movies I've ever seen. God, it's so awesome. And I was like, yeah, another Tom Cruise movie that's amazing is Edge of Tomorrow. And that conversation went on for 10 minutes or so before he went, wait a minute, that's what it's called? I thought it was called Live, Die, Repeat. Yeah, that's the movie I'm talking about. So yeah, it's
is that the tagline of the movie? Is Live, Die, Repeat?
Yes. Yeah, it is truly one of the best movies that has ever been made. It would be in my top 20 list probably.
Very good.
Anyway, so
that's it.
You did not time this well. You did not set this up well because I have 2 more items. I would have had one additional one, but you fucked up somewhere, buddy. Anyway,
that's fine. It happens to the best of us.
So this is what it started off as.
I could show you the Goosebumps shirt that I got like a month and a half ago and never showed you.
Sure. Go do that. Anyway.
All right.
So
hold on. I see something.
Go grab it.
But it says James Bond, you fucker.
Go grab it, you stupid bitch. So anyway, I was at Second and Charles, like I mentioned yesterday, which is where I got the, Legend of Jack Sparrow game. And I was checking out their most recent comic books, which I usually, yes, very nice. It looks
awesome.
If looks could kill. Yes. For some reason, when I first read it, I thought it said it looks like a child. And I'm like, that's a weird tagline. Goosebumps. It looks like a child. That's frightening. Anyway, so I usually don't buy individual comic books because it gets too expensive. It gets too crazy. Like you buy like 10 of them from a series, you could get that all together in a graphic novel. Just makes it so much easier. There's always stuff that you end up not being able to get. Like if there's a series that's 1 through 10 and you're like, I can't get 7, I'm so annoyed. And there's always variant covers for each one. And it's always such a nightmare. So traditionally I do not get individual comic books unless I have to. Like with the Halloween series, they had a comic book run for a little while. Those will never be put into graphic novels, unfortunately. I wish they would, but they never will. Licensing issues. Anyway. And I see James Bond. And I'm like, what? What is this? And so I pick it up and I'm like, Ian Fleming's James Bond. And it's this comic book. And I was like, okay. And so then I grabbed it and then I looked behind it and then there was 2 others. So this serves exactly what I was talking about, that there's 5 in this series and I could only get 3 of them. So annoying. But yeah, so behind it there was 2 more. And so that's that one. This is number 4 here. So this series is called Agent of Spectre, apparently. And
have you read any of them yet?
No. But I'm excited for it. And then this one's the final one. Oh yeah, for sure.
I like the cover art for that one.
So it's
that very last one you just showed. Yeah, it was really cool. Almost looks like
so this is
like
awesome.
Superhero-y.
So like I said, I usually don't buy individual comic books, but I had no idea this even existed. Like I knew that there's been James Bond comic books at some point or other, but I had no idea that there was a current series of them. So Brandon Likey. And then I went over and so it's the company's Dynamite. So it's not DC, it's not Marvel, it's not Dark Horse, it's not, Image, it's Dynamite. So then I went over to the graphic novels and I was like, this probably isn't gonna happen, but let me check their Dynamite section because I never even looked for James Bond comic books in Dynamite because I'm like, I didn't even think that there was James Bond comic books like that, especially not to be put into a graphic novel. So I looked and I actually found a graphic novel hardcover.
Oh, wow.
of these Dynamite James Bond comics. And they had two of these. One was in worse condition. But yeah, this was $10. And I was
That's it?
like, it's freaking awesome.
I want that for $10.
And it's like Varger.
I don't know
Looks
what
like
the hell that is.
Varer or something, but like Varger. It's the name of it. But I'm like, this is awesome. I got James Bond in the snow with blood.
It's fucking cool.
Yeah, it's super cool. Like, this is a whole new world has been opened up to me. Like, I have like some old ass graphic novel for Casino Royale, that just retells Casino Royale. But I didn't know that they had like original stories going on here. So that is very cool. I'm very, very excited. It might suck. I don't know, but
yeah, it might.
It's pretty cool.
Very good.
Yep.
Cool. I'll buy one.
Varger. I don't know.
You're a Varger.
So Brian K. Vaughan, the writer of Saga, had this to say. This James Bond comic by Warren Ellis and Jason Masters is the best contemporary take on 007. Well, alrighty then.
Alrighty then.
If he says so.
Because he's the ultimate authority on James Bond after writing the saga. Or saga, excuse me.
Saga. Yeah, it's a series.
A classic.
It might be.
I
I see a lot of them. I don't know anything about it, but I can picture the title in my mind in the font and everything because I've seen these comic books.
Very good.
Mostly at Motor City Comic Con, but yes. Yes, indeed. So that's everything.
What is it with special features being a special shit show? Not that that was a shit show, but holy fuck. I thought that was going to be like a 15-minute episode.
It just, we already go on forever anyway and go off on tangents and go crazy in normal episodes that have subjects to them. So when we're told we don't even have a subject to go by, like all restraints are taken away, then we really go crazy with that. Because I feel like this was 2.5 hours.
I know, it's like 6 o'clock already.
Yeah.
Literally, it's 6 o'clock.
It is 6 o'clock. Wow. I can't see the timer that goes down anymore at the side of the screen, but I'm pretty sure if I could, it would say 2 hours.
Yes. Well, I'll make either short work of it or I'll just keep the whole fucking thing up and just who cares?
Who cares?
I mean,
there
if
is
I had
one part though that for sure, as not only will I show you the actual visual representation of what I was talking about with the guitar, but the part about the wand thing where I said, yes, look down at the bottom of the screen if I was right about it, if I was wrong about it. I think I'm wrong about it, but I'm going to have to turn on the game and see what it says at the beginning because I was convinced. Maybe I fell asleep. Maybe I like started playing the game and then I fell asleep and then I had like a dream about it and I woke up right away and then started playing the game. So I like hallucinated.
That's totally
the fact that there's this wand, like a Bluetooth wand that you can use as a controller. I don't know. It's a good idea though.
And it is. Patent that shit. J.K. Rowling.
Yeah.
Come contact us.
Yeah. And like just have it where it's, different. I mean, it'd probably be a nightmare, but different flicks of the wrist and stuff.
Well, all you do is when you learn a spell, you trace it anyway. Use that motion.
That's true. That's true.
Levioso. There you go.
Leviosa. Is that Leviosa?
I haven't even encountered them saying
not Leviosa.
Wingardium Leviosa in the game. I've only heard Levioso. in the game.
Yeah, that's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, I noticed that right away, actually, but whatever. I'm having a lot of fun with the game, which actually I'm going to turn my PS5 completely off and then I'm going to start it up just for you and I'm going to see what it says.
And see that it probably says nothing.
That's great. I love it.
Oh, yeah, it's great. It's great. It's like Lucas said, we will do a video on it at some point or another. I don't know. But yeah, for the most part, it's a fun game. I like that a lot of the portraits talk to you. That's super cool. Not all of them, and some of them don't even move, which I take issue with. Um, the fact that and there is some glitches and stuff here and there, nothing game breaking, just a couple things here and there though, and it's hard to get used to the layout of Hogwarts. That's probably one of the biggest issues the game has,
because I know Hogwarts very differently than what the game is showing, and I've known it that way for years. Like I've told Brandon, if you drop me in the actual Hogwarts, I could probably be proficient enough to get you around 60% of the castle.
Yeah,
just based off of the
like
movies,
if there was a real
castle in the 5th
game based off of the model of it that's at Leavesden Studios, I believe that you could for sure. I know Hogwarts much differently, and I haven't even played some of those games that really have the layout of it, like Order of the Phoenix. So
that was the game that really cemented it for me, because I would get the games when the movie, like it was tie-in, so I'd get the game, see the movie, go home, play the game. And being open world, like I got the PS2 version back in the day, of course, the worst fucking version of the game. I had the Wii at the time. I think I even had the 360, because this was 2007 when Phoenix, you know what it was? I had 1, 2, 3, 4 in World Cup all on PS2 at the time. So I wanted Order of the Phoenix on PS2, and I wanted them to all match on my shelf, which I get, but look, as an adult,
I get it too. I get it more than you get it now, I think.
Yeah, now I don't give a crap, as I've told you many times. Put the greatest hits version up there.
Because I was like, Steelbooks, the best thing about them is that a lot of the time they match each other. So there's like a nice,
the feng shui of everything, as they say.
There's some feng shui there. And Lucas was like, I don't give a crap. I'll have a Steelbook up there. I'll have something I'll have a normal I'll have a 4K up there with the black.
Oh, I have
plastic.
that. I even have a DVD mix in there for good measure. So it's just this one case that's sticking up.
That is like nightmare territory for me. That's like
I'm gonna insert. I'm not even gonna here. I'm gonna take the picture as you're watching me. It'll be in the episode.
Oh God. So throw a DVD in there, throw a regular Blu-ray in there just for good measure, and then put another Blu-ray in there that has a slip cover on it, and just have those that's all the same series. Like that's that's the Friday the 13th series. So it's like it's all from like that kind of stuff drives me insane, for that to be all from the same series like that.
I just
but Lucas loves it. Let's see. I mean, am I supposed to be looking at the stuff that's just sitting on top of your shelf?
You don't see the DVD 2-film collection after the Friday the 13th?
But it's at such an angle that it doesn't look like there's a variance.
Okay, well, I'm gonna adjust it, and then I'll put the picture in the episode.
Sounds good. So we'll show both of them, but just for good measure, this is what Lucas sent me, right? And he expected that this was what was going to grab my attention in this photo, and not so much this. Like I immediately thought, like, oh, that's what he wants to show me, that he ran out of room and now he's just shoving shit on top.
Yes. So not only am I running out of room, things are mostly alphabetized in there, and I just don't want to have to shift everything over to put Knives Out in. So it's just been sitting up there since I got it like 2 months ago. Next to your movies. That's where your movies go.
Yeah, this Halloween, what the hell is wrong with that?
I had them out and I flipped it around and I put it back in.
The wrong way?
Yeah, and I just never took it out because
Oh my God.
I didn't care.
That's also nightmare fuel for me because it's like you have 1 through 5 all looking out the same way. It's all good. And then you have that that's facing the exact opposite direction. And it's like, no.
Ordinarily, I would never do that. I don't remember doing that. And then when I looked at it, I said, huh, that's weird for me. And I just left it there.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you got down here, got that steel book, that Harold Porter steel book,
Yes.
and then you got 2 other or Harold Porter movies next to it. It's this,
And then I don't know
I'm
if
so
you
happy
zoom in
that
and
you
look
had
down.
visual representation.
There's more Harold Porter underneath. And then Harold Porter spills onto the game shelf.
I can't see it. It's not in the photo, unfortunately. That's the bottom of the photo right
But
there.
yeah, that's my only shelf of movies because the rest of my movies are in a giant garbage bag in a box because there's no space. Oh boy.
That is so sad to hear.
Yeah, if I just let them all on the floor, I could probably go swimming in all these cases. As you could too.
Look at you. Lucas is over here breaking the forbidden rule. What's the word I'm really looking for? Like the you know, you did like the
an unforgivable curse.
Sure, let's go with that. You did the unforgivable curse of Steelbook right on like your raw dog in it.
Yeah. It's a Breakfast Club one. I got there for like $10.
Steelbook
like 4 years ago. There's a few more, but Harry Potter, that one I had to put that in there. That's different. Like that's sacred and holy.
Yes.
Is that one of those things where just the more you look at it, the worse it gets?
Yeah, at first I was like, oh, my attention just went to the top, the movie sitting up there, but now it's like a Where's Waldo? Like I'm like, oh my God. Yeah. You gotta protect your steelbook. Gotta wrap it so it doesn't get the venereal disease from the shelf. Anyway. Isn't it strange to you that the Corpse Bride has almost like a Harry Potter kind of font to it? That's one of those things that was always kind of weird to me.
Guess.
Like it looks like it matches up better with Harry Potter than anything else. I guess there's only so many fonts in the world, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Anyway.
Yes, and fucking indeed. What was that for?
Yeah. I couldn't even control myself. It happened involuntarily.
Oh, well, the bottom shelf is actually way worse.
I think I might have seen it before.
You probably have. I've shown off the wall. The wall of virginity.
I have pictures that you've sent me where it's like the shelf is like doing this, right?
I had one shelf that was completely like bowed in.
Yeah. That's funny.
It is what it is, people.
It is what it is, people.
So in conclusion, I hope you enjoyed Special Features Ends. It was about the length of a motion picture, about the length of the real Halloween Ends, though ours is going to be put up for an Oscar because that was a great movie. Did you guys like it? Let us know in the comment section down below what you thought of this mess.
This is correct. I searched books in my phone so I could hopefully it would come up, your shelf, and all that ended up coming up was a collection that I had of my PS3 games that I sold off that I wish I never sold off.
That sucks for you because
And it's
PS3 is
so
great.
disappointing. Yeah, I don't know why I did it. I was a dumbass. And like
Totally.
Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions, which
That's
now
an
goes
expensive
for like
game.
$150. Um, Grand Theft Auto 4, the
I love
episodes from
GTA
Liberty
4.
City, which goes for like, see, I never thought for a second that Rockstar would not re-release Grand Theft Auto 4. I never thought that that was ever a possibility. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, my God, I'm so angry I got rid of the Amazing Spider-Man.
That's
This
another
just
not
sickens
super
me.
expensive game, but it definitely goes for more than it used to. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, I'm sickened by this photo.
Me too. You
But
suck.
guess what I kept though? I
Oh
kept Dead
Christ.
Island and Dead Island Riptide. I made sure to keep those, the games that have had re-releases.
The games that at Trash Depot are like $1.99 in perfect condition. That sucks.
Yeah, I made sure to keep those. And
Oh, I'll show you if you're gonna talk about expensive PS3 games, I'll show you my 2 expensive PS3 games that I still have. Where are they? They're in alphabetical order. I should be able to find them.
the only
These
one that
2
I'm
games
happy that I
on
kept
PS3
was
are fucking getting expensive.
oh
This
really?
one, the last I checked, was at like $90 fucking dollars. Which it's a great game, by the way. It's a launch PS3 game. And this one is Atlas. I've talked about Atlas before and how anything they touch, it becomes really expensive. And 3D Dot Game Heroes looks kind of like Minecraft, but it plays just like the top-down Zelda game, so people love it for that. And this is like a $50 to $60 game. Yeah, PS3 is
I'm
going up in price,
sickened.
so I've been
Yeah,
holding on to
it's
my PS3
stupid.
games.
It's
I've said it before, people. I love PS3.
I need to tell you something about PS3 as well. I just found
Okay,
this out the other day.
let's do our sign off, and then we'll just talk.
Let's say this first and then do the sign off because I want the people to know about this atrocity as well. I was editing the James Caan video, and then I was like, you know what? I remember that they released The Godfather on PS3. You know what? I ought to
Yes.
get that. I ought to get that, right? No big deal. How expensive could it
$75.
be? And so I look it up, and you know, the PS3 version, the Don's
The
edition,
Don
whatever. I
edition.
remember they were in every single store. I almost purchased it, but I thought, no, it doesn't look that different than the PS2 version that I already just beat. And you know, yeah. $75 and up.
Wow. That's crazy.
I know.
I mean, even Order of the Phoenix and is like a $30 to $35 game.
Yeah, I think I got it for 20, but yes.
Very good.
Like I kept Batman Arkham Origins, and I don't think anybody cares about that because I love that game and there's never been a remaster of it. But I'm pretty sure that I could go stop by Trash Depot and get it for $5 tomorrow if I wanted to. Why did I only keep the shit ones?
Because you were a stupid high schooler.
That's the ultimate thing that we need to really think about.
When I think of what my collection was and what my collection is now and how many times I've had to rebuy games and movies, probably sometimes 2 and 3 times over because I'll get rid of it again and then I want it again. And then you think
I know
learn your
you
lesson.
in particular. See, it's not something I do anymore. I think logically about this stuff before I sell it. But I know you went through a whole period where you were selling things off willy-nilly, and now you have to try and recover all of that. And so you know better than anybody.
Oh, yeah.
This type of situation. And I'm just like, I'm so annoyed by it. And not until this moment, though, I forgot that I had these specific games. And Red Dead Redemption as well. Like, that is a game that I'm sure is not that expensive, but that's the only way to play it, is just going and getting it on PS3. There used to be a pawn shop I would go into.
Is you can take the 360 version put it in your
Yeah.
Xbox Series X, and you can play it at 4K 60 frames per second. So it's basically like a remaster. The more you know. It's fucking
I
gorgeous.
don't
I'm
have
not
that
just trying to
option.
I'm not just trying to plug Series X and like make you jealous or whatever, but it legitimately is fucking gorgeous. They did the same thing with GTA
Anyway.
4, which is awesome because that's never getting remastered either.
We're talking about Red Dead Redemption, right? Not the second one.
Yeah, so I'm talking about Red Dead,
Technically,
2009 or
I mean,
whatever.
Red Dead Redemption is technically the second one. The newest one is the third one. It's a whole thing.
Yeah.
But okay, interesting. Yeah, there was a pawn shop I used to go to, and they used to have so many games. And I think that's
Yeah.
why I felt so confident in selling them off, because I was like, look at this. There's thousands of these PS3. I'm like a New Yorker. There's thousands of these PS3 games here. Yay. Hey, look over here. Look at all these PS3 games, And I'm like, it'll be fine. And I guarantee you, if I went in there tomorrow, they don't have any anymore. I guarantee it.
Oh
They
no,
used to
they'll
have
maybe have like
so many.
they'll have like Minecraft, Call of Duty on PS4, like just the run of the mill
God, that
fodder.
just makes me sad. It just makes me sad. Because that's what pawn shops were really good for, was getting games like that for cheap,
Well, because back in the day, before everybody and their fucking mother went in their attic and found Mario Brothers 1985 and they're selling it for a kidney on eBay, everybody thinks what they have is gold.
I know.
Back then you'd take Def Jam Fight for New York, they would just look at it, oh, PS2 $5, it's a $140 game. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you're just, it's not like you're taking advantage of them, that's just what they're selling. But
I'm assuming most of
then,
this is gonna be cut out anyway, but
I don't even know
really
how
did
I'm
it.
gonna edit this, but
who cares? Thanks for joining us, everybody. We really appreciate it. If there was a weird skip from the moment before this to us saying bye, just know
we time traveled.
that we did it for your benefit. Okay. But yeah, thanks everybody. We'll see you next time.
Thanks.